bonjour, salve, konnichiwa, hola, mahoroi, distinguished guests and fellow young leaders. I am Yuvna Mishra, a member of Parliament at the 5th World Teen Parliament from India. It is an absolute honor to welcome you all to the 53rd Parliamentary session at the World Teen Parliament. Tonight, we are privileged to be joined by two distinguished members of Parliament from Zimbabwe, Tavanda Karikoga and Shakespear Hamauswa. Your presence here tonight is deeply inspiring for us, and we sincerely thank you for taking out your time to engage with youth from across the world. In a world full of division and noise, platforms like these reminds us that your voice truly matters. Every opinion shared here tonight has the power to spark change, challenge perspectives, and inspire challenges. To all the participants joining us on Zoom, this is your moment to shine. With that, I warmly welcome you all to the 53rd Parliamentary session of the World Teen Parliament. Thank you, and let us begin with this incredible session.
Where we'll typically be talking about that will current generation have better opportunities than their parents? Keeping in context the way the world is evoluting around us, the way AI is coming into use, and how is it evoluting the career and job market for everyone.
I really thank you for be making me the guest, and I would want to encourage all the participants to do their best. I also believe that the younger generation, indeed, they have more opportunities now to do better and to achieve more than their predecessors. And I believe that the latter must always be better than the former. They are now exposed to technology, which link them with the world. They can do things faster. There is artificial intelligence. They have lots of opportunities, and they can also learn from the successes of their predecessors, their failures, and they can also do exchange, programs. Now we can have such kind of a program. So I really welcome everyone, and I also want to wish them well and all the best. Thank you.
Evening, everyone. I Ara, and today what I think is that today's young people have more opportunities than their parents in many ways. Technology, online education, global communication have opened doors to better careers, business, and learning. A student today can learn skills from anywhere in the net with just a phone and an internet connection. However, young people also face challenges like competition, stress, and rising cost of living. Success now requires continuous learning and adaptability. Overall, I believe that today's youth have great opportunity, but they must work hard and use them wisely to build a better future than their parents. Because every opportunity first have the disadvantages with advantages. Thank you.
Myself, Prisha Charadia, a grade 12 student representing Agarwal Vidyalaya and Junior College. While hearing this topic, the first word that clicked on my mind was connectivity. Today's generation is the most networked generation right now. And if we see the example of the movement right now, World Teen Parliament, a very great opportunity. Imagine 20 to 30 years back, would a student be able to interact live with the ministers of another country? Absolutely no. Moreover, technology has also reformed over time. Resources, tools, consultancies are our fingertips. And moreover, the geographical boundaries are no longer available. We can collaborate globally as well as compete globally. In conclusion, I would like to state that our parents had a different view on the world with different tools, but we have a different power as well. With the correct resources, tools, and consultancy, we can ace the better opportunities. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Jaida Mariam Sultana, a ninth grader. And yes, I believe that today's generation has more opportunities than their parents ever had. Because back then, learning new skills required money and career options were limited. But today, many of us are holding opportunities in our own hands, our mobile phones. Because through YouTube, social media, and the internet, students can learn coding, editing, languages, AI, and many other skills from home for free. Even career options are also much more diverse today. Earlier generations mostly focused on careers like doctors, engineers, teachers, or government jobs. But today's generation can explore content creation, digital marketing, and much more. Because even girls today also have greater opportunities compared to previous generations. However, more opportunities do not mean an easy life because today's generation also faces more pressure and competition. So, yes, today's generation has more opportunities than their parents ever imagined, but using them wisely is what truly matters. Thank you.
Thanks. I am Vani Sharma, and I firmly stand against the motion that today's young people have better opportunities than their parents. According to Stanford researchers, young people entering the workforce today are far less likely to earn more than their parents when compared to children born 2 generations before them. The traditional milestones of improving one's socioeconomic status, buying a house, achieving financial stability, and retiring comfortably have been priced out of reach. Yes, we have technology, but we also have an unstable economy that offers minimal job security and fewer benefits. On top of that, this generation is inheriting the massive financial burden of aging populations and the existing threat of climate change. Today, the predictable ladders to success have been kicked away, leaving a generation overeducated, underpaid, and facing a demonstrably harder path than their predecessors. Thank
Today's
you.
young people have better opportunities than their parents? Yes, but I believe we are the first generation where opportunities itself have become stressful. Our parents had fewer choices. Doctors, engineers, lawyers, done. We have unlimited opportunities. And somehow, that's even worse. See, today, a teenager can build a business from a bedroom, can learn from the world's best teacher online, and can become successful even before graduating. That sounds amazing, isn't it? Until you open your social media and discover a 16-year-old millionaire telling you to wake up at 4 a.m. and hustle. And then, boom, a new kind of pressure is unlocked. So, yes, absolutely, we have better opportunities than our parents, but our parents struggle to find opportunities and we struggle to survive them. And there's a difference. Thank you very much. I am Yuvna Mishra, a member of Parliament at the 5th World Teen Parliament.
Myself, Sukhmanveer Singh, selected MP of World Teen Parliament. Our parents built their future with degrees, but this generation might build it with Wi-Fi connection. That's not a joke. That's revolution. For the first time in the history, a teenager sitting in the small town can compete with the world. One idea, one skill, one video can change the life overnight. Our parents waited for opportunities. This generation creates them. But here is what makes our generation different. We are not asking for comfort. We are not asking for impact. We do not just want jobs. We want purpose. We do not just follow trends. We create them. Yes, competition is brutal. Yes, pressure is real. But diamonds are made in comfort. So, will young people have better opportunities than their parents? Absolutely. Because this generation is no longer limited by geography, background, and old systems. The future is now belong to the bold. Thank
Imagine
you.
explaining to our world, or our parents, that people today earn money by posting get ready with me videos while we're still here trying to get ready before the school bus leaves. Good morning, everyone. I'm Riddhi from India, and honestly, our generation has the biggest opportunities ever, but also the biggest pressure. Today, over 5 billion people use the internet worldwide. A teenager can learn coding from YouTube, start a business, earn money editing videos from home. Our parents never had opportunities like that. But competition today is brutal. According to the World Economic Forum, AI and technology are expected to transform 23% of jobs globally in the next few years. Earlier, students were compared with classmates. Now we open social media and suddenly a 14-year-old is retired, living in Dubai and giving life advice. Meanwhile, I feel successful when I submitted my homework on time. But despite the pressure, I strongly believe young people will have better opportunities than their parents. Because today's success doesn't belong to the richest anymore. It belongs to the people who adapt the fastest. And honestly, if our generation can survive exams, AI, and Sharma
Everyone, this is Adi Abrar from Radiant Public School, and today I am here to support the motion that today's young people are getting better opportunities than their parents. Well, today I stand on this very stage. I don't just speak about opportunities, I stand on one because WTP itself is a proof that Today's young people are getting chances that our parents could hardly imagine of. Let's pause for a moment and truly reflect that if this platform wouldn't exist, would any of us be able to discover our voice? Would we be able to speak in front of such respectful individuals and share our ideas? Probably the answer would be not. So, today's young people are getting opportunities not just because the life is easier, but because some platforms exist that make our life easier, that help us to think deeper, rise higher, and of course, to build a strong nation. Thank you.
Representing JKG International School. I strongly believe that today's young people have better opportunities than their parents, not just because of technology or modern jobs, but today's young people have something which previous generation rarely had: multiple chances to succeed. Earlier, people often depended on one career and one source of income, and a single failure could permanently damage their future. But today's young people can restart, relearn, and rebuild themselves through online education, freelancing, startups, remote work, and digital platforms. For the first time in history, knowledge is accessible to almost everyone, not only to rich families or elite institutions. A student with a smartphone and internet connection can also learn skills, earn money, and connect globally. Opportunities are no longer limited by location or background as much as before. Earlier generations spent their lives searching for
Youth are
opportunities.
the first generation in history that can turn a bedroom into a classroom, an office, or even a business. Imagine explaining that to our parents. They'd probably say, "Stop watching science fiction." But that is our reality today. The opposition may say young people are distracted, but distraction exists because excess exists. A teenager today can attend international events online, connect with leaders worldwide, learn skills for free, and even earn money remotely. Opportunities many parents never had at that age. Previous generation were limited by location. This generation is limited only by how well it uses technology. And yes, competition is greater today because opportunities are greater too. Nobody competes for things that do not exist. So, yes, today's youth absolutely have better opportunities than their parents. For the first time in history, one small screen can connect a young person to the entire world. Thank you so much, everyone. This is MP Fatima Binte Riyaz signing off for today.
You were given the power right now, and you could change one rule or one law in your country right away, that you just said it and it will get changed. What would that rule or law be, and what would you change?
I had the power to change one rule in the country immediately, I would focus on making quality education equal for every child, whether they live in a village or a city. Every student should have access to good teachers, technology, and opportunities because education shapes the future of a nation. When every child gets equal chances to learn, the whole country grows stronger.
One thing that I would lower the minimum age to contest elections in India, because right now in India a person must generally be 25 years old to contest for Lok Sabha or state assembly, and 30 years, I guess, yes, 30 years old for Rajya Sabha. So I guess in my opinion, if young people are considered mature enough to vote at 18, pay taxes, use technology responsibly, and even start a business, then they should be trusted to contest elections at young age too.
One law that I would change is that I would switch from caste based reservations to economic based reservations so that the people who have a lack of resources or are not able to get quality education, they actually get the reservation and they are able to get the opportunity which was denied to them due to their economic condition.
Good evening, everyone. I agree with Manashwi, but I would also add, coming from India, I would like to change right to equality to right to equity, because everyone has different circumstances, and equality does not actually have to mean that someone is given a privilege over the other, but someone can be brought up to the privilege level of the other competitor.
If I had the power to change one rule in my country, I would focus on creating more employment opportunities because many young people work hard and get educated but still struggle to find good jobs.
If I get the opportunity to change one rule, so I would basically focus more on creativity than on sticking on to the marks.
I had a power to change one rule in my country, I would change the education system to make it more practical and skill based rather than focus only on marks and exam. I believe education should prepare students for real life creativity, not just memorizing. Thank you.
There should be immediate punishment to the rapist, as justice delay is justice denied. Thank you.
I would, if I had the power to change the law, I change the law that, there is a law in India that for anyone who survived a suicide attempt, they can get into legal trouble. So I find it really unnecessary because someone is already going through emotional distress, and by putting a force of legal trouble on their heads, that makes it even worse. So I think that's really unpractical.
One law which I would like to change would be the reservation in healthcare. That what have I observed is after providing good education to the one who are not able to or lower caste people, the one who have scored 90% are not given seats just because these seats are preserved for the one who have scored below 50. When we are giving the opportunity for education, then why are we giving reservations? What I have seen is the conditions of doctor are getting worse. What I have seen is that the one they have to treat, the more they have to take. They put patients on a ventilator just to earn. Why are we giving them the reservation when we are providing them education? We can provide them books. The people who are lower caste have the point to education, and if they have knowledge, they can point out or they could get that point of view or seat without reservation also if they have that talent.
I think allowing the Black people to compete on equal basis, giving them equal opportunities, removing systematic and institutional discrimination will definitely allow the Black people to participate in governance structures, to compete in elections as other, races do. We have seen in America, because of the abolition of discriminatory laws that I think should be abolished in all other countries. Just like as in Zimbabwe, we also have the white race who are the minority. But as I speak, we actually have a mayor who is white in Bulawayo, which is the second largest city in Zimbabwe. We also have people of color who are actually ministers in Zimbabwe. We have the deputy minister of transport who is white, but they are minority, who was actually voted by the people in the rural area of, if you have a chance to check, you Google Chimani Mani, I will write it. And in my own political party, we also have, he said we have a mayor who is from the opposition. We also have a legislator who is from Mutare. He is representing Mutare. Last time we also had two legislators, one representing Kariba, the other one. And these were voted without reserving any seat for them, but by way of removing discrimination laws, by way of encouraging free participation in following the law. So I think this is what should happen to the Black people. They are also great people. They can also do things as the other races can do. So just removing systematic discrimination laws, allowing them to participate as others do, then that is enough. Thank you.
What is that one thing adults keep saying about the current generation that you think is completely wrong? How are you perceived in the wrong way by adults at the moment? What do you feel? Parents keep thinking that I am like this. Or my adults around me think this generation is this and that. What's the wrong or misconception that the current generation has about you, the future generation?
I think the biggest misconception is that Gen Zs or Gen Alphas, they don't take initiative, they're not passionate about things, which I strongly disagree because if you look at what's going on right now, most of the people fighting for climate change and most of the SDG goals are the teenagers. Biggest example is Greta Thunberg. She's a teenager and she's been fighting since, I don't know, the age of like 8, I think. Yes. And also the thing that happened in Nepal, it was all Gen Z led. They took initiative when the adults couldn't. So I strongly disagree. And I feel that Gen Zs are they can take initiatives for things they are passionate about.
What I believe, we Gen Zs are mostly judged by being called as distracted generation. I strongly believe that we are not distracted. We are just having a lot of opportunities around us. We are like, we want to be the jack of all trades. And I think that's something because mostly what adults say is that they tell us to just be the best at one particular thing. But I certainly believe we shall be a holistic kind of person. So, yeah.
What I've seen is that the older generation says that Gen Z is very lazy. But in my personal experience, I have personally met with and interacted with so many people, and I have seen that Gen Z might be one of the most hardworking generations because if you look at it, the competitive exams that all of us are trying for, the in today's date they are the most competitive because of overpopulation and the less number of seats. Moreover, Gen Z is actively building startups, they're coding, they're learning new things, and they're doing tons of things at one moment. And well, the difference is that we don't believe in the conventional way of working. The culture that the older generations believed in, working, you're dedicating all your time to one organization, one company. We just don't believe in that. We prioritize our own self development more than just being a corporate employee. And I guess that's just one distinction of mindset, but that does not mean that our whole generation is lazy.
I think that one thing that many adults think about our generation is that we don't respect our parents or elders anymore. But I think that we are just more comfortable with expressing our opinions and questioning things that we disagree with. And I think the older generations sometimes they see this as disrespect when I think it's just the confidence and a desire to be understood. I think that we want more open communication rather than just strict control.
One thing I've heard people say is that Gen Z is spoiled because we have access to so many things. We have social media and we stay glued to our screens. But the thing is, this social media provides us with so much of worldwide connectivity to all types of opportunities, to all types of people, that it brings a sort of pressure, the fear of not living up to all of this access. So um, most of us, we are expected to be everything and be everywhere and live up to all of those uh, opportunities and use all of the tools that we have to our fullest, even though there are so many. So that's all I would like to say. Thank you.
So I think Lydia even mentioned that. So what I believe that we Gen Zs are not stubborn. Like we are literally considered as so stubborn. But honestly, I don't think so. We are stubborn. I feel that we are curious. We are having the thing that we question things. We don't go with that orthodox mindset of that certain ritual or the certain things when people tell us not to do that. Instead, we are having the thing in mind. We are not like we won't follow it, we would follow it if that would make sense. So I feel sometimes we might disrespect many young like elders because of this, because they might feel that we are not listening. But honestly, I just feel like if we are here as people, I think we must have the sense that yeah, we must know who we are.
So, what the thing I want to say is emotional invalidation. Like, nowadays, like Gen Z, they're not good at expressing what their emotions. So like sometimes when they're silent, sometimes when they show attitude, like parents think that it is a bad behavior, but we just don't know how to express our emotions like completely to them. In reality, adolescents lack the complete neurological and emotional vocabulary to articulate what they are feeling. What appears as an eye roll or a slam door is often their response to overwhelming stress, peer pressures, or harmonical like shifts, rather than a lack of respect like that.
Okay, so I think you want the whole world to be considerate towards you. Fair enough. So we have listened to all the teenagers, so it's time to typically listen to the guest who has come in. Dr. Shakespeare, over to you for your closing remarks for this parliamentary session. How was your experience of everything that was going on around you? What did you feel about it? How were these teenagers, and how do you feel? What kind of a role World Teen Parliament is playing in the life of all these teenagers?
Thank you so much. I can really say that I can see that some of the teenagers have actually been inspired or are being inspired by the senior parliamentarians. They are also getting inspiration from the areas where they stay. I am sure their teachers are doing a good job. They presented with clarity, most of them. It was even difficult to be a judge where everyone seemed to be a superstar, to be well prepared. They were well prepared. I would really wish that we could have this every week where we get even to see the energy, the way they also spoke with confidence, and their content, even citing sources of their facts, it was really good. And also the questions you asked them, they were also responding well. They also identified, as I conclude, identified a generational gap classified or characterized by different issues where they are being blamed by their parents, where if they express themselves, sometimes they found themselves going crossing the red line is dictated by their parents. And this also is causing problems. But I think what is needed is intergenerational consensus, where actually the younger generation will learn from the older generation, and the older generation also accepting the new skills, the new ideas, new opportunities being presented to the younger generation. So I think I will conclude by quoting Edmund Beck, who said, "A society is a connection between the dead, the living, and the future generation." Meaning that there must be some kind of intergenerational consensus. I think this is the proposal that I will have, and I wish, even as a legislator, to come up with solutions that will ensure that there is always intergenerational consensus, and we work to deal with the intergenerational gaps, so that the youth will also not feel ashamed of expressing themselves, but also the older ones will also accept the younger generation with all the skills, the new ideas, the energy they have. I would want to thank and express my gratitude to everyone who participated, and I want to continue wishing them well, that they do all their best. To those who read the Bible, there is a verse in Ecclesiastes which says, "Whatever your hands finds to do, do it with all your heart." So I think it applies to everyone, that whatever opportunity you get to do it with all your heart. And this is actually good for you. It's good for your community as well. I really thank you for inviting me. I hope we are going to meet again in some other meeting, and we wish everyone the best. Thank you so much.
Announce the individual who got the maximum marks today. So the individual who got the maximum marks from our jury today and the winner for the voting debate for the meritocratic process is Riddhi Chaudhary. Congratulations, Riddhi. You got the maximum marks from the jury today. So they felt that your logic, your content was very good. So how do you feel about it?
I feel really thankful also that people agree with me. I feel very nice that I was able to capture their minds, and I feel that there were a lot of other people who also said really, who also put up really amazing ideas. So overall, it was a really fun and interesting debate, I would say. Thank you.
Today, two people got the same amount of votes. So today's voting debate has a tie. So two people who got the maximum votes in today's voting debate and who won by votes is Vani Sharma and Yuvna Mishra. Congratulations to both of you. Both of you won today's voting debate. You can see how many votes you got, the voting percentage. Both of you got nearly 19% of the votes. So you are the voted winner for today's debate. Now, whatever you say becomes the answer to today's question. So today's question was, let me quickly remind it to all of you, that will today's young people have better opportunities than their parents? So you typically, Vani, what do you think? Today's generation gets better opportunities or your earlier generation had better opportunities? What's your final take on it? You can only, take one side.
Okay. The topic is very interesting. It has many answers, but I think that today's generation does have more opportunities. It's just that we do not know how to use them. And it's a lot more complex because of the vast number of opportunities that we have in our hands.
So the vast number of opportunities makes life a little more difficult than the earlier generation. But you still feel that the today's generation has more opportunities. Yuvana, what's your response to today's topic? Because you're also a voted winner.
So thank you very much. Also, very congratulations to Vani and Arya. So honestly, I feel that yes, young people have more opportunities compared to their parents. While I also believe that every coin has two sides, I do understand it comes with pressure. But yeah, I feel it's worth it. Thank you very much.
So people, both your winners today think that the current generation has more opportunities. But I have a question before we conclude this call for this 53rd parliamentary session. The question is for all the current generation. I know that you have far more opportunities than your earlier generation. But do you have paid opportunities? Because the current generation has multitude of opportunities where nobody is paying them. Your earlier generation had a lot more opportunities to quickly get into a job or make money for themselves. But your generation has superb lot of choices, but making money is absolutely difficult from your earlier generation. Do you agree with it or do you not agree with it? If you agree, bob your head. It's getting difficult by the day to, make your livelihood. When an organization needed typically 100 to 200 people to run its operation, can now do it simply by implementing AI and using 5 people. Think of a scenario. Will we really need people in the future?
John C. Maxwell has rightly said that a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Hello everyone, this is Adi Abrar from Radiant Public School, and today on the behalf of everyone, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Tawanda Karikoga and Dr. Shakespear Hamauswa for gracing this session with your esteemed presence. I am deeply privileged to have benefited by your profound insights and valuable reflections on democratic leadership. Your willingness to engage with young minds, despite having demanding national responsibilities, truly reflects your steadfast commitment to nurturing future leaders. This session has truly been both enlightening and memorable for all of us because of your presence. So, on the behalf of World Teen Parliament, I sincerely wish you both safe journey ahead, continued success in your noble service to the nation, and every blessing in your future events. Thank you.